increase, it will result into higher profit, and that increases the profitability of the business organization. Third, business prestige is maintained because with the help of employees, we are achieving our targets very easily, and by that way, our business prestige will maintain because we are getting a name and fame in the market, in which whatever tough and difficult task is there will easily complete it with the help of human resource management. Fourth, higher standards for the quality of goods or services are maintained, because once your employees are satisfied with an organization, there is a feeling or there is a notion in the mind that this is my organization and I am working for my organization and I am not a particular employee here, but I am the boss. So they are trying hard to achieve everything, and by that way, the higher standards for the quality of goods, it means the quality of goods can be maintained. Fifth, feeling of oneness among employees is developed, as we have already discussed that. Once they are satisfied, there should be a feeling of oneness, that we all are safe. When we are going to discuss about the principles of management in chapter 2nd, then we will discuss this point, but in particular this point very deeply. 6. Maximum utilization of factor of production is possible. Today we are seeing that machines which are developed by different countries are in a position that they can working for a 24/7. But without manpower, we are unable to take a work from these machines. And for that, we require that human resource will work very efficiently. And that's why we are having 3 shifts in the factory, where each shift is having 8 hours of working. And by this way, we can get the maximum utilization of factor of production. That is, once land is purchased, plant and machinery is implemented, and working is started. But if there is a lack of human resource, then we cannot utilize all the resources very carefully. But with the help of human resource, the maximum utilization of resources can happen. 7th, reduction in labor turnover rate is seen, as we have already discussed, that when more than one employees or frequently employees are leaving the job or a particular work, it is called labor turnover rate. But once if they are satisfied, the labor turnover rate will be reduced. 8. Job satisfaction among the employees is enhanced because all their needs and necessities are fulfilled by the organization. Time to time, refresher and other trainings are given. Time to time, promotional efforts and promotion and transfer is there, which will increase the enthusiasm of employees, and it will result into job satisfaction among the employees. 9. Due to human resource management, employees get job satisfaction, which finally turn into an environment of industrial peace. Basically, there is 2 classes of people. One is the owner and second one is the employees or workers. And in many of the organizations, there is a continuous dispute between these 2 classes of people. It happens. But once, due to human resource management, employees get job satisfaction, and with this job satisfaction, finally turn into the environmental or industrial peace, where all the class of people, that is owners and employees, working together for the accomplishment of objective. So here we have completed the second functional area of management, that is human resource management. Now let us move towards the third, that is financial management. Finance is the lifeblood of business, as human body without blood and business without finance is safe. So there is no existence of a body without blood, and same way, whatever business in your mind or in a real situation, it needs a fund, whether it is in a small volume or in a large volume. No activity is possible without finance. You just think about it. You just think in your mind about the business idea and its possibilities without finance, and there will be the result is 0. Finance is required for the establishment, means once you want to start a business, you require a finance. Development of a business, it means the expansion and modernization. It means when you want to modernize, when you want to place a new and latest machinery, then also finance is required in a business. Now, meaning of financial management. Financial management deals with the finance function of business. It is dealing with the finance function. Financial function means the function of, line this statement, the function of acquisition, utilization and allocation of capital. So here we are having three functions. First one is acquisition, means to find out of finance from the different sources of a business. Like in standard 11, in one chapter, that is in chapter number 9, we are having the sources of business finance. Equity capital, preference capital, debentures, bond, bank loan, loan from different financial institutions. All this comes under the heading acquisition of finance. So first of all, we have to acquire the finance. Then second, utilization. It means to usage, means to placement of this finance. There is a requirement of two kinds of finance in a business, short term and long term. Short term finance is called working capital, while long term finance is called fixed capital. So we have to properly utilize all the finance which we have acquired in the first stage, and then lastly is the allocation. It means here the proper placement. In utilization, we are planning for all the activities where finance is required, and in allocation of funds, it means we are implementing the plan that is utilized. There is one more function, that is return on investment, is also the part of financial management, but basically these three, acquisition, utilization and allocation of funds, is the main point of financial management. This function must be done in an ideal and efficient manner so that there is a proper chain of activities in a business organization, and there will be less burden of interest and other debt obligations. Now let us move towards the functions of financial management. Following functions are included in financial management in their first one, to estimate the financial needs. As we have discussed that there is two kind of finance, and their source of acquisition is also different. So first of all, we have to estimate that how much fund is required for fixed capital and how much for working capital, and this is the estimate of the financial needs. Then second, to make financial plans from the point of view of time duration. It means if it is a working capital, then the plan for financial is day to day or weekly or fortnightly or monthly or quarterly. But if it is a fixed capital, then the planning will be of 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, etc. So make financial plan from the viewpoint of a time duration. If it is for short time duration, then it comes under the working capital, and for long term it comes under the fixed capital. Third, to prepare budget. Budget is an estimation of income and expenditure of an organization. So it is also the part of financial management where all the departmental heads of the middle level management are preparing budget for their proper department, and lastly top management will decide or will formulate the master budget amongst all the budget of departmental heads. Fourth, to allocate funds, as we have already discussed. Allocation of fund to different activities for raw materials, machineries, vehicles, transportation, packaging, labeling, etc. All this comes under the fourth point, that is to allocate funds. Fifth, to decide capital structure and to select source of acquisition of capital. Capital structure we will discuss in chapter number 8 of financial management of this particular subject. Capital structure is a combination of owner's capital and borrowed capital. So there should be proper balance between the owner's capital, that is equity capital, and borrowed capital, that is through debentures and loans and all other means. So in fifth point, we have to decide the capital structure and to select source of acquisition of capital. It means we have to decide that whether the capital comes from equity, preference, debenture, financial institution or anywhere else. 6. To carry out the procedure for acquiring the finance. See, the acquisition of fund is not an easy task. It is very difficult because for different kind of sources of finance, there is a requirement of different procedure. For equity share, it is also different. For preference share, it is also different. For debenture, it is also different. So, to carry out the procedure, and basically this procedure of acquiring the finance is done by the company secretaries. 7. To see that the acquired funds are properly utilized, because once unutilized fund is there, it means there is an inefficiency of management. They cannot properly manage all the activities, and this will be the burdensome for the organization where they have to pay the debt obligations and to keep control over financial activity. So, it is also the function of financial management to see that the acquired funds are properly utilized and keep control over financial activities. 8. To form financial policy, different kind of financial policies like whether to sold on a cash basis or on a credit basis will be decided over here. That is to form financial policy. Because in cash basis we require less amount of a capital, but in credit basis where there is a turnover ratio is very low, that's why we require a huge funds. 9. To plan for taxes, because in big organization, as their income is very high, their tax is also very high. So if they are dividing their fund as a dividend or as an interest, it will be beneficial for them. If they are paying interest, then it will be considered as an expenditure and it will be deducted from the income for the tax purpose. So here they have to plan for taxes also. And lastly, to make arrangement of assets. Time to time all the assets are getting obsolete and out of service. So we have to make proper arrangement of assets at every time interval. So here we have also completed point number 3, that is financial management. Now let us move towards the fourth and last point of this particular chapter, that is production management. Process of conversion of naturally available raw material into consumable finished goods with the help of human efforts is known as production. Line this statement. It may be asked in 2 marks that what is production? So the process of conversion of naturally available raw material. All the goods of all the industries are produced from naturally available resources. So the conversion procedure of this naturally available resources into consumable or for the usable thing, we require some kind of human efforts, and by these human efforts whatever procedure or whatever process is taken or make it consumable, it is called as production. So the process of conversion of naturally available raw material into consumable finished goods with the help of human efforts is known as production. Production management produces goods and services. Here, all that things means in marketing management we are having a proper idea in our mind regarding the goods and services. But here in production management, it takes shapes. It is physically produced. Production management produces goods and services.